Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Oh god, my microphone is so loud. Let's turn that down just a little bit. There we go. That should be a little bit better, at least for now. We'll give it a little test real quick before I jump into the chat with everybody else. I notice my voice is still a little gone. Sorry about that. Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. Yeah, I definitely need to turn that down. That should be much more gooder now. Alright, so here in just a second, I'm going to jump into the Discord call with all the players. But welcome to Session 0 of the Veiled World new homebrew running right here on Twitch for every single session. Good morning.
How's it going?
What's up? What's up? Joker will probably just be listening in. He's in class, and Old Possum will be joining us in a little bit. He is stuck doing some work stuff he wasn't expecting to, but that's okay. Also, you guys might notice my voice is still not quite all the way back. I might go quiet every now and then when I have to cough up a lot, but we'll get there. And next week we should be fine. But hey, welcome to the Veiled World. I'm gonna turn down that music for just a wee bit. Trying to put the music into a loop real quick. Okay, first we'll switch to our alright. So anybody who's watching, you may notice that there's a lot of me that's on the screen. Don't worry, that'll get fixed soon. Just placeholders. Same for the other characters that are there. This is how it's going to look for everyone while we're Twitch streaming though. Right there in the middle is going to be our game, and on the sides is going to be all the characters. I'm just trying to get some stuff figured out real quick.
Fair enough.
I think. Okay. That'll work. That'll be good enough. Yeah, Joker says he'll communicate through the board for right now because he can't talk while he's in class. But that's okay. I also dropped the Twitch stream information in the Discord. If any of you guys end up wanting to go in there and talk with anybody while they're watching or different stuff like that. There's not really anyone watching yet. We only got 2 viewers, but hey, you never know. First thing I need to do, though, before I get too far, is make sure, at least for you two, that I can hear you good on the Twitch stream. So here in a second, I'm going to have you guys introduce yourself by whatever name you want to go by, be it your character name or your real name, your Discord name, whatever you want to go by. Unicorn, I'll have you go first, and then Unicorn, once you're done, Bluntman, I'll have you go first. Or again, whatever names you guys want to do. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Awesome. Well, hey guys, I am Unicorn. I feel like for this, everyone can just be calling me by my character's name, Biscuit. Well, Hibiscus, but everyone just calls her Biscuit.
I'm Bluntman. People call me Blunt. I don't know my character name yet, so we'll have to go with either one of those for now. We'll figure it out.
Perfect. Y'all both sound great. It's a lot easier when I'm not trying to also manage the sound from a game like Baldur's Gate on top of whoever's talking.
Only one layer this time.
That's right. You might hear random clicking. That's me turning my microphone off when I cough. I don't know why it has to be so goddamn loud every time I do it. It'll just be. Yeah. So for Biscuit and for Possum's character, they already have an idea of what they're doing because we were going to start this game a couple months ago before I got a job that ended up not working out super well. But we'll still discuss their characters and everything for Joker and for Mr. Blunt. But for now, let me do this real quick. Let's go to character 2. Seeing some actual overlay changes while we're doing it. It's nice and fun. Let's see which one. There it is. So then change that to Chloe Cocoa Bean. Welcome to the chat. You're just in time to watch us do some setup. Biscuit.
Yee.
You. My voice is probably
I do
gonna
apologize, like I did last time. To the two of you who don't know, Biscuit's gonna have a real Southern Belle accent.
be. I'm all for it. The funny part is, like, overall, she's not even really, like, all that Southern. She just has the accent. At least that's what it seems like so far.
Oh no, like her whole family was like in like the southern United States until they moved to where
Ah.
Possum's character is.
Let's see. I also need to grab character images. Let's see. Save image. Yeah, so I had to bear with me. I couldn't really do a whole lot of this part until we had got to actually play. Let's see. For you, Blunt, I know you don't have a character in mind yet. We will find you an image in time. Don't worry. And eventually,
Yeah, man. Just pick whatever looks the most chaotic, man. That's what we're going for.
And eventually, we have a player that's in one of our other games named Gravity. She is a artist, and eventually she's going to be doing art for all the characters for all the games for us. So we'll all have
That's huge.
we'll all have nice custom individual character art for everyone. They're also going to be doing the logo for the Twitch stream, so that'll be kind of cool. And just so I can explain
sure.
it pretty good for you guys, because I want to make sure you guys are aware of everything for it. Eventually, hopefully, the goal is that Twitch will end up making a little bit of money off of it. May happen, may not happen. The more money the Twitch makes, the less that you guys will have to pay to play the games. And eventually, if it makes enough, you guys won't have to pay at all. But I'll also give you guys a cut as well, because it's also your guys' game, and it's not just me that's going to make it popular if it becomes popular. But until that happens, I have a thing on here. If people do ! Tip, and they give a tip while we're playing this game, it will be split evenly between all the players, no matter what. So if someone tips us for some freaking reason, somebody tips us, $1,000 or something, never gonna happen. But if it did, each of us would be getting an even split of that. I would not. I'm not going to keep all that for myself. As much as it would be cool to have $1,000, I'm not greedy. I'm not trying to get rich off of it. So that's why I don't charge an arm and a leg. There's some people out there that charge $30 a session to play D&D. I'm like, that's...
I saw a couple that expensive when I was looking again.
And the crazy thing is, there's people that are like,
Yeah,
I'll
Gryffindor
pay
does
that.
something like that, I think.
Yeah, and like if someone has the money to pay it, more on them, I guess. But I don't have the money to pay $30 to play a game, and I don't expect somebody else to pay that much money every week to play a game with me. That just seems wild. Let me finish setting up this though. I'm getting distracted.
I see. I
Texas.
need to pull this up on computer because this does not work on phone. Wow.
No, it does not. You need to be on a computer. It absolutely does not work on a phone.
Yeah, no, that's bad.
Yeah, it's awful. The Roll20 app is terrible. Whoa, that made your image really big. Jesus. I'll eventually make them look a little bit prettier, but for now, this should work just fine. So bam, there we go. We got Biscuit's picture on there. Woo!
Biscuit.
Biscuit, Texas.
Texas.
Inside jokes, gotta love them. Yes, Joker, it is point buy for abilities. And just like all the other ones, maximum health for when you're first starting. So real quick before I start getting too far into making all the shit and making this take forever, Joker, you are doing a what race are you doing again? My caffeine's still hitting in. Satyr Warlock. So fun times. I also have his character image, if I can get it to cooperate with me. We'll put him in at character 3. I made this Twitch overlay completely from scratch, by the way. Besides the animated part, I obviously did not make that myself. I'm not that talented. But the overall display is all made by hand. It was pretty fun to do, actually, to be honest.
Looks pretty cool.
I need to slightly change some of it, but it's all good. Eventually, I will go through and unbackground everything, so you're fine. Yeah, I know. Background for your character I need to fix. Tony Steve, hey, what's up, man? Stream's just starting. We're getting everything set up for the characters, so we haven't actually gotten to play yet, but that's okay. Setting up overlay for some characters and getting ready to teach our newest player how to play and set up his character. Trying not to lose my voice again in the process. Speaking of which, let me go drink my water. Oh boy. There we go.
All right, I got everything transferred to computer.
Sweet. Awesome.
Mobile was scuffed.
Yeah, the mobile for Roll20 is awful. The crazy thing is, Joker wants to know if he should go Charlatan or Entertainer for his Warlock. I'm thinking, knowing what you want to do for your backstory, probably Entertainer, because I feel like that's what he'd want to be. Granted, you can kind of just pick whatever for that, and we can make custom backgrounds story-wise, but still. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I'm trying not to blow my nose during with the microphone on for the sake of everyone's sanity. You said your character's name was Amos, Amos. Yeah. Alright, so that's character 3. Name. Let me change the name. Come on. Amos. I will make the overlay look way prettier later, but for now, we're making it functional. There we go. Now the caffeine's starting to kick in. I'm starting to feel it. There we go. Now his character looks a little better. Alright, so for Bluntman, this is your first time ever doing D&D, if I remember right, correct? Oh, I don't know where.
Pretty much, yeah. I was in a club at school in like 9th grade before COVID for like a week,
Oh,
but that didn't really result in anything.
oh yeah, I feel you, man. So I play I play D&D 5e, the 2014 rules. I don't really go um, with the 2024 rules yet because I'm still learning them myself. So I don't want to try to run something for somebody if I don't know all the things for it. So we go 2014, a little simpler for people
Fair
to follow
enough.
too.
I wouldn't know the better though, so you know.
Oh well, then according to well then, we'll say for you that we're playing the 2028 rules. I got special access, first DM to have it. D&D 6e. No, but it's D&D 5e. This is the version that most people know, where you roll a d20. You want to try to roll as high as you can on a d20 for just about everything. However, rolling a 1 or even failing is not always the end of the world. Sometimes it's actually funnier to fail. Biscuit, Joker, and Possum, I can't remember, Zeftry, I think is how you say his character's name. They've all played with me before in other campaigns, and they can tell you it's fun to fail sometimes. Oftentimes it's more fun to fail, depending on what exactly you're doing. We try to keep it more comedic with serious or intense moments thrown in there, so that instead it's not just, oh, we're this dark squad of DC heroes and everything is bad. We're more like, no, it's, we have some fun, but our characters might not be having a good time.
Hell yeah.
So I'm going to give you guys a little rundown of what the Veiled World is in just a second. I can feel myself getting ready to cough again, so I'm trying to finish up so I can mute my microphone. There we go. I'm good enough for the moment, at least. All right, so the Veiled World is still what we call Earth. It is 2026, the modern world. It is a alternate reality from our world, so things that are either really big in our modern world right now, like politics and certain politicians, or certain world events that are going on and stuff, those aren't happening in this world. That's just for the sake of, so we don't have either players arguing with players if something comes up. Not that I don't think any of our guys really would, but you never know. Or people who are watching arguing about, this or that because of personal opinions. Everyone's entitled to their personal opinion, so I try to keep anything that can be personal opinion out. So we won't have to worry about things like, oh, who's the president in. Oh, my internet disconnected for a second. That's cool.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah. Um, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I was like, what are they saying? I paused to cough. I was like, I don't think I did. I'm not coughing. But yeah. Anyways, I don't know where I left off, but basically, real world stuff, different in Veiled World, um, for reasons of let's make it to where we don't give each other or other people reasons to get all upset with each other or have to deal with stuff that we already have to deal with in real life, because that's the whole point of D&D is to get away from that shit. All right, so it is 2026 in this world as well. It is exactly the same modern wise. We got cell phones, we got radios, television shows. A lot of the different shows will either keep them the same if your character wants to have a show that they like, or if you want to be funny and say you like a show and just kind of like do like they do in other shows where you slightly tweak it to where you know exactly what they're talking about, but it's not called that. You can do that too. Either way is fine. I don't think we're going to get hit by McDonald's if we say it. There's a McDonald's in the world. So either way is totally fine. Let me, I'm grabbing my summary real quick, waiting for this thing to load. So like I said, this campaign takes place in modern day 2026 Earth. Magic, supernatural creatures, non-human races, these all secretly exist alongside humanity. The normal public reality is known as the mundane world, while the hidden magical society operating within is called the veiled world. The big split to where the world became the veiled world and the mundane world. Joker doesn't have his microphone on, but he's gonna scream so loud we still hear him when he hears this name because I've reused a name. Just wait for it. Wait for his reaction and roll 20. No, not Harry Dresden, but close.
Oh.
Not close, but you'll see. Centuries ago, reckless magic experimentation nearly destroyed reality. A powerful figure named Mutos began opening dangerous rifts to other realms, unleashing unnatural forces and destabilizing the world. Yep, there it is, Mutos. Motherfucker. He was a big bad guy in another thing we were doing. I'm using him as backstory in this. He was opening powerful rifts, destabilizing reality, and he was bringing over bad guys. He was also bringing other races, goblins, orcs, gnomes, elves. None of these existed on Earth. It was because of these realms opening that that all these races came to Earth. To stop him, a group of powerful magic users and factions united to close the rifts and seal Mutos away. It was discovered that in order to close these rifts, if you send whoever opened them through them, that it would close them and kill them, because they were not designed for them to go through like that. In the aftermath, the magical community realized the damage magic could cause if exposed. We had the mundane world hunting down the people who came to help, the goblins, the dwarves. Everyone came to Earth through the rifts to help because they had fought these same creatures that were coming through the rifts to destroy our world, had also destroyed their world. They were pretty much living in survival mode. So they came here to help, and then the humans who weren't magic didn't understand, and they hated them. They hated anyone who could potentially use magic. Things similar to witch trials were going on. This happened way back during what was considered the Black Plague. In the aftermath, the magical community realized the damage magic could cause if exposed. To prevent chaos, they erased magical history from the mundane world and created strict magic systems to keep everything hidden. Um, so history was changed so that things like the Black Plague now exist in history. The Dancing Plague, that's another one that we talked about before, now exists in history. But it wasn't. I definitely did misspell biscuit on the overlay. One of the viewers said
Biscuit.
biscuit.
Yeah.
I do that every single time.
I always have to look up how to spell biscuit. Don't worry.
I always forget the friggin' I. But anyways, all those things weren't actual plagues or natural disasters that happen. They were magical things that happened, but the world has changed its history so that they think that it was this big plague that happened. The Black Plague that took out a big chunk of Europe was actually the attack that Mutos had over a couple years, and it stopped because he was defeated and sealed away. And they went, okay, well, let's change that to it was the Black Plague that took out that took out.
So
all
this
that
shit's
stuff.
been going on for a long time.
It's been going on for a long time. I can't remember exactly when the Black Plague was. What was that? The 1400s, 1500s?
Around there, I think. Yeah.
Something around there. At least since then, that is when all the other races started coming to Earth. Magic had existed before this, but it was only humans. So now we got kobolds and all these other things, and some of them wanted to stick around to 1346 to 1353. So that's when the other races started coming to Earth. Some of them were planning on trying to stick around. They wanted to see if they could, like, I don't know, maybe live here themselves since their worlds were destroyed. And some were just coming to help and then leaving. They're all stuck here now because the rifts were closed. Rift magic is highly, highly illegal because when you open it, there's always the potential that these bad things that Mutos brought excuse me, that all these bad things that Mutos brought in could come back. So it's illegal. Let me change Biscuit's name before I forget. Biscuit. Biscuit. Bam. There we go. Now it's how it's supposed to be. What are you talking about? It was never wrong. So anyways, in order to keep the magic world hidden, people realized, oh, we can't have goblins walking around on the street. We can't have people using magic all willy-nilly. We have to have a set of rules and regulations to keep us veiled from the mundane world. From this effect came the Veil Keepers, a neutral organization responsible for maintaining the balance between the mundane and the veiled worlds. And that's essentially what you guys are. You guys are going to be brand new Veil Keepers. The Veil Keepers act as the closest thing the veiled world has to an international authority. They are not a government, but rather a neutral organization supported by various magical factions. Their responsibilities include investigating magical incidences in the mundane world, such as suspicious deaths, like a vampire killing a guy, leaving him out because he doesn't care. Enforcing veil laws designed to keep magic secret. So laws such as you cannot publicly go out looking like a non-human. Getting the means to non-humans so that they can go out in the world. Such as if you are let's say that you're a Goliath, really, really tall, and you're blue. You can't go walking around at Walmart. But the Veil Keepers, as well as some other people, try to come up or try to get items out to people like these rings that when you wear, to people of the mundane world, you look like a human, but to those of the veiled world, they'll still see what you actually are. So that you can go around and exist. Because some people just want to exist. Some people don't want to do crazy magical shit, but they're giant and blue. So they kind of gotta. Some of the other things is they'll also mediate disputes between magical factions. So if the goblins are in an argument with the gnomes and they're kind of getting onto each other, it looks like they might start fighting soon. The Veil Keepers will sometimes be sent to make it to where fights don't happen. They figure out what's going on, who's at fault, and different things like that. They also work at eliminating or containing supernatural threats. So along with humanoid races or sentient races, tons of other things came in. What the mundane world knows as cryptids, those are creatures such as owl bears or different things like that that exist in the D&D world. They now exist in the real world, and the Veil Keepers will work towards capturing or eliminating those wraiths or other monstrosities that aren't sentient enough to care about keeping hidden. Zombies, things like that. They also are sent out to stop these from bleeding into the mundane world. Or if they do, covering up magical events that could expose the veiled world. That is their biggest thing, is keeping the veiled world secret. That is both to protect the mundane world, because if you have this vampire or this werewolf that goes around and they like to eat people, but they can't really do it too much because they got to stay hidden, or the Veil Keepers will come after them. If all of a sudden it's okay because the magical world is known, then they're just going to go nutso. But also to keep the magical world safe, you have characters that are like Biscuit, where if somebody knows that they're a changeling, just in the magical world, a lot of people don't trust them right away because they don't have a good history between them. But then if you have a bunch of humans that know that this person can go around and change the way they look, they're probably not going to trust them either. That goes for just about everything. Humans don't like change. So they see that there's bugbears running around and gnomes running around, they're going to hate them because that's just what humans do, unfortunately. So they somewhat function as a mix between the United Nations, the supernatural investigators, and kind of like an Interpol of the supernatural world. Many members of the Veil Keepers still belong to other factions, such as Possum's character Zefteri. He still belongs to one of the Goblin factions, but he's also part of the Veil Keepers. Some of them are sent as like representatives to the Veil Keepers. Some try to use them as spies within the Veil Keepers, and then some just they want to help keep their people safe, and the best way to do that is through the Veil Keepers. Some people believe the Veil Keepers may be more corrupt than they seem like they are. Your characters are not. Your characters are all pretty much fresh, brand new Veil Keepers. You just completed training. You will be in a group together, and you'll be sent on an assignment together. And you're kind of like your little squad for the Veil Keepers. So you guys don't really know a whole lot about the way that the Veil Keepers themselves work, but when it comes to your individual races, you'll kind of know how they work within the world. And the way that we'll do that is by you guys helping to create how they work in this world. So, like, Biscuit helped decide how changelings work. A lot of changelings are not trusted because a lot of them do shady work because they have the ability to. And that snowballed to where Now, shady work is really all they can do because that's what they're known for, so that's what they're stereotyped for. So, like, Biscuit didn't grow up going, well, I'm going to steal everything because I can. It's become I'm going to steal everything because that's the only way that I can get those things.
That's why she's got some sticky fingers.
That's why she's got some sticky fingers, and why. A was it her that has the big family, or Zeftry that has the big family? It
Oh,
was her.
she has a huge
Yeah, she
family,
has the
yeah.
huge family. That's right. And then Zeftry married your sister and married into it, which was always funny. So Zeftry and Biscuit are brother and sister-in-law. Um, they're both within the same family, and it's pretty fun dynamic. Let me skim through my notes again real quick. There's some stuff right there that you can't know about because it's the first investigation. Yeah, so Joker wants me to send him his idea for the Patreon. Okay. Um, let me DM him that real quick. And then we'll start looking at some ideas for characters for you, Blunt. That way you can be in on this too.
For
I just
sure.
made my news sheet with the right stuff, so I labeled the other one "Please delete."
Perfect. That'll work out perfect for me. Let me see what his answer is to this real quick. Give me one more second. All right, so I sent him a thing. Another thing for all of your characters, you guys have a general idea of what happened way back in the 1300s with Mutos, but your characters don't know the details, um, the full on details because it's something that they've wanted to keep kind of on the down low. Um, I don't know why that sent that twice, but anyways, excuse me. So your characters know that there was the very evil, powerful human wizard Mutos, and that he caused this big war and tried to take over the world, and then he was defeated, and that he was killed. You don't really know too much about that he was this like master at controlling the rifts because they want to keep, hey, you can gain a lot of power through these rifts on the down low. All you know is that, yeah, he was a big bad guy. The Veil Keepers exist because he needed to go down, and he was defeated and killed. And now the world is secret. So let's real quick. I'm going to Biscuit. I'm going to have you kind of give a little rundown of your character, for the viewers and so that Blunt can kind of get an idea of how we're making these characters. So you want to start with your character's name, maybe a little bit about what they look like, how they act, and a little bit of their backstory, which you would want to be revealed so far at the start. You can go ahead and do that, and we'll take a listen.
I guess I shall introduce myself in character. Howdy, y'all. My name's Hibiscus, but everyone just kind of calls me Biscuit. I'm just a little old bard and a changeling, I guess, but isn't every bard just kind of a changeling in their own way? I, right now, have some nice, pretty green hair, but really, I look like whatever I feel like looking like in that day. Yeah, like I said, I'm just a little bard, just playing. Some people say that I'm some sort of musical savant. I guess I just kind of know how to play all them instruments. But it's nice meeting y'all. Can't wait to hang.
Fantastic. I love it.
Biscuit's so fun to play. Like, I've started doing it around my house to my boyfriend.
Did you get him to watch the stream?
I don't know. He did say that there's a chance he won't be able to today, but he's probably gonna start doing so.
That's
But I
okay.
have been mildly bullying him into it. So
I'm also going to be saving these videos and putting them up on YouTube so people can catch up as well. So if he does miss one, it won't be the end of the world.
sweet.
And eventually, um, hopefully sometime within the next 1 or 2 streams that I do, I'll hit affiliate. Um, Eventually there's going to be ads that pop up. Whenever we do have ads that pop up, we have 2 different things that we're going to do. One is called Hero of the Chat, which is where, if you're familiar with how Discord works, you can get channel points. They're totally free. You get them for watching the channel. They don't cost you anything. They don't pay anything out to the channel. There's kind of fun things to do. You can use these channel points to buy actions that'll happen. And these actions will happen during the ad breaks or at the very beginning or end of a session. And basically, I'll cut to a little 1v1 where the hero of the chat, which right now is a character named Nasty Nork, that's whose image I'm using for the placeholder of character 1. He's fighting a kobold right now, and whenever people use the channel points, they can make the character attack with advantage, heal. They can also make the enemy attack if they want to try to kill the hero of the chat. And every time they defeat the enemy, they'll level up, and then they'll go on to a new enemy. So it's just a little thing for the viewers to interact. And if somebody, for some reason, subscribes to the channel so that they don't see the ads, this will be something that they can see during the ad break or at the beginning and end of the stream as well. So that'll be something kind of fun to do. But those ads probably won't exist on the YouTube video, so you want to deal with that. But yeah, I'm setting up the YouTube sometime today so that people can go back and rewatch everything without sorry, Joker messaged me something else. Yeah, so eventually people will be able to watch through that as well. So make sure you guys check that out once it comes up. I'll put all the information out there once we do. Also, if you guys push !Discord, that'll lead to a Discord channel where me and Joker had set up for gaming. This is where I'll be dropping different announcements about the stream and everything. We'll continue to do our D&D games in the World Masters Guild Discord where we're all set up already. But any random one-shots that I do, oh, apparently you don't even need to do that. That's cool. Oh, you just gotta say Discord. That's right. Eventually, I'll be doing different things like gaming with the community or running little free one-shots for people to join in, different stuff like that. So if you guys want to join that Discord as well, that one's owned and ran by me and Joker. So you guys can definitely do that as well. Let's see. So what was I about to do? I had something I was about to do. I'm losing it today. Yes. So, Bluntman, you are inside of the. You are inside the Roll20 game, right?
Yes, that is correct.
I assume right now you can't see anything because you don't have a character token, but that's okay if you can't.
No, I can see the map and the other two characters.
Okay, cool. So at the very top, on the right side, you'll see where the chat button is, and then there's one that says
A book.
that has a little book, and then it has you should be able to do something where it says plus character or plus handout. If you push,
I don't see handout, but I do see character.
okay, if you push the character one, um, it'll pop up with a random character name and all kinds of stuff. It'll come up with a pop out. What I would like for you to do is, what is the name of the character that it gave you? Hevo Cleave?
That's one of them. I actually made one while we were talking earlier.
Okay. We'll go with the Hevo Cleave one. Unless your other one is already set up the way you want it. When it pops up, it'll say, "How do you want to create this character?" You will push "Use the Character Mancer."
Character Mancer?
Yes. All right. So it's going to pop up with this. Welcome to the Character Mancer. I'll walk you through this. Go ahead and push next.
There?
So you should be on race now, right?
Yeah.
All right. So there's a whole bunch of different races that you can be. You can be pretty much any of these races. If you don't know what they are, you can try Googling the name, and it'll kind of give you a little image of what they look like. Or if you want, you can ask me, and we'll come up with a idea of how to use them. If you see in the parentheses the MMOM or the VG1 or the things like that, that's just which one of the books that I own that you're getting the information from. You don't have to worry about that. The only one.
There's a lot of shit in here.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Depending on what, I wouldn't worry too much about like, oh, I want to go with this class, so I need to be this race. You do not have to min max to be inside my games. You don't. We don't have to have a healer. We don't have to have a tank. However our characters are, I designed the game to fit what we have to where what you do, is possible without having to have special people.
Okay.
So if you have an idea of what kind of race you want to be, let me know, and we'll see what we can figure out for you.
I'm leaning towards a gnome or a dwarf.
Okay. That's totally good. Are you planning on doing a melee class? So like, a lot of people when they first play, they'll do like a fighter, or a ranger because they're a little bit easier to play while you're first learning than like a spellcaster because then you don't have to manage all your spells. You can go with whatever you want. We'll help you learn. If you're going with a fighter or something that's going to be melee where it's close range, I would suggest dwarf over gnome. Well, I don't know, dwarf might do it too because each character has so many feet they can move per round, and the gnomes being smaller, they have less that they can move per round. So if you're a fighter and your whole thing is getting up close, that can be a little bit of a pain in the ass when you're first learning. But there's also items that can help you get that movement back up as well over time. And it's also funny to have a gnome that's wielding a two-handed sword or a sword and shield being a tank, different things like that. But yeah, if you want to go with a gnome, We can start you off there. You'll just have to go down and find wherever gnome is at. You can go with the MMO or not the MMOM, the player handbook, PHB. There might be another
Yeah.
gnome that's in there. They're exactly
Well,
the
there's a
same.
deep gnome too.
Yeah. So deep gnomes, um, they live mostly underground. Um, I don't know what they get that regular gnomes don't get. But if you
Deep
click,
gnomes get the minor illusion, I think,
oh, that's right.
or or they get like a fucking what's it called? The disguise self.
Huh.
I got to turn Joker down. I still had him at 200%. Say something again, Joker.
Saying something.
There we go. Perfect. That'll work for now.
I'm
Um,
walking saying glass right now.
oh, you're good. Yeah. So if you when you choose a race, it'll also kind of give you an image and a little description of what they are on the side. When it comes to things like, oh, this is where they live or things like that, ignore that, obviously. Um, but
Yeah.
once you have a race that you like, be it gnome, deep gnome, whichever one, I believe if you go and click on gnome, sometimes it'll have. I don't think it will for this one. Oh yeah, sub race. All the way down at the bottom, it'll say sub race, and there's different ones there like
Let's see
deep
here.
gnome again, forest gnome, rock gnome, things like that.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Okay.
they'll be slightly different because they are from different books. Um, but overall, we can play around with it, and if for some reason we like, I think forest gnomes and rock gnomes are the normal gnomes. If we end up wanting to slightly change you later, we can, and we can redo your character sheet, especially since you're learning still. So if I would suggest for you probably to go either forest gnome or rock gnome. You can kind of do whichever one
Okay.
there. I don't think it'll. Yeah, so if you click on it, it'll say on the side, as a forest gnome, you have a natural knack for illusion and inherent quickness and stealth. And then rock gnomes, I think, are a little bit more hardy, if I remember right. I'm clicking on
Tinker
things, so it
and
might be changing things on your sheet if it does. Sorry.
there's
Um,
artificers and shit. I don't know what that really means, but
so artificers are the ones
oh
that
yeah.
make like robots and shit like that. I would probably go forest gnome then.
Okay.
Let me close out your thing so I can reopen it. We'll find you a cool little picture here in a second. Um, so then, a couple of the things I would not worry about is alignment. I would just choose something random. I don't enforce what you put on your sheet for alignment because even though
Okay.
your character might be, I don't know, lawful good, they're not going to be perfect. So there's going to be moments that they aren't lawful good. Some people try to say, oh, if you pick that, your choices have to be based off of that. I'm like, no, because generally, most people can be good people, but they still might do something that's shitty every now and then. So to say that you're forced to stick to your alignment is dumb, in my opinion. So you can kind of pick whatever
Fair
for
enough.
that. Um, you will have intelligent. You will have advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws as gnome cunning. What that means is you'll get to roll 2 dice instead of one. Anytime that you have to
Huge.
have intelligence, wisdom, or charisma saving throw against magic means like if an enemy uses a spell against you and that spell is a charisma based spell, then you have to do a charisma saving throw. Um, if you pass that saving throw, it either doesn't affect you or it only does half damage, and then if you fail, the full effect of the spell happens. So having advantage
Okay.
on wisdom, in- intelligence, and charisma pretty much means almost every spell you'll have advantage on these saves, which is good. Whenever you
Oh
have
yeah.
all those filled out, you'll go ahead and click on the next tab, which is class.
Yep, I'm in there.
So classes. Oh, it's not letting me look at your classes now, or what classes are available. I'll click on this other one so I can show you.
Quite a few.
his character mancer isn't finished loading. Yeah, there's tons of them, and some of these classes also have subclasses within them. Also, you'll see that some of them, like Rogue, pops up with PHB and EK.
Yeah, there's multiple.
It's the same thing for both. It's just pulling the same thing from two sources. If you see Player Handbook and EK, Player Handbook is the PHB, they are the same thing.
Yep.
The other ones
Okay.
would be different from each other. But yeah,
I've never heard
Joker's
of
right.
tech
Player Handbook
shit.
over EK. EK sometimes has a little bit less things. But each of these different ones also have subclasses within them. So like a fighter is the version of a warrior. They use a sword and shield. There's a defense fighter, so they have higher armor. There's a two-handed fighter, so they have better two-handed attacks, and all kinds of different things
Gotcha.
like that. Paladins, there's Oathbreaker Paladins, there's Vengeance Paladins, things like that. Clerics, there's different versions of clerics, bards, all that stuff. Right now, I know we have a gunslinger, which is not a thing that I have available, but Possum has his own information, so he's doing it off of that.
I was actually thinking about that. I was gonna say ranger, but we're in the modern day, so I could just use a fucking gun.
Well, you could also still do ranger, and potentially get a gun later, or you can still use a bow and arrow. A lot of the creatures still use older stuff. Even a gunslinger, they use older pistols, or other things. Joker will have an idea of what I'm talking about for this. An idea I got from a book series called The Drisden Files is that those who are around magic, or that are magic, the higher level of technology that they're around, the more likely it is to fuck up around them. And this includes things like cars and weapons too. So that's something that happens in the Dresden Files. So like the main character in there, he doesn't have a TV, he doesn't have internet because it doesn't work because he's magic. So even the older characters will still revert to using a staff or using a very, very old school musket or things like that, because anything that's higher
I was
level.
kind of thinking like a blunderbuss because I thought that would just look really funny.
Right.
It would fucking know him running around with a.
So
big-ass
you can
shotgun.
you can definitely probably do that as a ranger too. I would have to see what I have available, but you can start with a bow and arrow, and worst comes to worst,
Yeah.
we can reflavor your bow and arrow to something else, or you can get something else along the way. If you still want to
That's all
do
good.
ranger, ranger also has some melee options as well, so they can get close to other people. If that's the case, I would go with Ranger Player Handbook. Once you click on that, you'll see it has weapon
Skill
proficiencies,
proficiencies.
and skill proficiencies.
Favored enemy language.
Yes.
What the hell?
So let's start all the way up at skill proficiencies.
Okay.
These would be different things that if I have you do a skill check, that you'll have a better roll with. You won't have advantage for
Okay.
these, but like if you roll a d20 and you have proficiency in something, then you can roll a d20 plus your proficiency. So if your proficiency in something is 2, then your total will be whatever you roll plus 2. So if you
Plus
roll
2.
so if you roll a 10, it would be a 12. All the math is done for you in roll 20. You don't have
Okay.
to worry about doing the math. So these are essentially what things you think your character would be good at. Animal handling, which is tracking animals, calming animals down, capturing them, things like that. Athletics, running, jumping, being an athletic person. Acrobatics, you don't have on here, is also jumping and stuff. Excuse me. Insight is like
So I'm gonna.
insight would be like if me and you were talking and I was lying to you, you might be able to pick up that I'm lying. A lot of the
Okay.
other ones are pretty easy to figure out what they might be, but you can choose three. So you can go ahead and choose three that you think your character would work with. Stealth, for example, might be something that as a ranger you do. Um, or perception, your ability to see what's around. If you want, let me know which three you pick, and then we'll move on to the next thing.
All right. So I have currently perception, insight, and stealth.
Okay, perfect. Those are three things that are very nice to have. Um, we'll look through certain. I'm gonna go back and choose. Let's see. I'm doing it alongside you in my other thing. You went with gnome.
Okay.
Let me make sure that gnome doesn't already get some of these. Because if they do,
Oh, okay.
you don't get it
Yeah,
twice.
I might be doubling up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does not
Class.
does not look like they do. That's fine. All right. So then you'll choose those.
Favorite enemy.
So favorite enemy. This will be essentially like the enemy you specialize in fighting.
Okay.
Excuse me. I would probably go with something like undead or fiends or beasts, something that's generic like that. You could also go with
Okay.
humanoids
'Cause that
and
fits
choose.
a lot of shit.
Yeah, because especially as a ranger and in the veiled world, a lot of your things are you were trained to go hunt down the owl bear that got loose, or to go take on these fiends that are attacking humans at night, or this group of undead that was raised, and now you have to stop before they harm somebody. So you're not going to be fighting based off your training. You're not going to be fighting giants as much, or dragons
Yeah.
as much, or things like that. Um, so that would be more storyline around what you actually about what you or actually trained to fight against. Um, yeah, Roll20 has gotten better about graying out what stuff you already have. It used to not. It used to be bad about not graying it out. And then favorite enemy language.
Damn, there's a lot of languages.
Yeah, common. Don't worry about that. You already know common.
I already know Gnomish too, right?
Yes. You would already know at least gnomish. I would probably go with something like I don't remember what language fiends speak off the top of my head.
What's like the most bullshit language that no one would speak ever?
Probably Celestina. Sylvan
'Cause I'm seeing
or
like abyssal and
abyssal.
primordial and shit.
Yeah, abyssal. Abyssal or primordial, I would say would probably be the two that like most people won't speak.
Okay.
Abyssal is fiends, so yeah, I think you're right. Abyssal is fiends, so that might be a good one for you if you end up going with like being a fiend hunter and stuff. Sylvan is all fey creatures like fairies and stuff like that. Um, and then natural explorer, you're particularly familiar with the one type of natural environment, adapted to traveling and surviving in such regions. Most of these would be um, converted to what the real world is. The only one that wouldn't be is Underdark. So Underdark, if you choose this as your like specialized thing, that would be underground areas like in big cities, the sewers or underground towns that have
Oh,
been made um, and things like
there's a
that.
language proficiency down below. Okay.
Yeah, there's more languages down below as well.
What the fuck? I could waste time with a lot of languages then.
Oh yeah. And a lot of times, I'm not going to worry too much about languages. Um, Between everyone, most languages are usually covered to an extent. Um, but yeah, depending on where you want your character to be from, they can be from anywhere around the world. Um, so they can even
You
be
said something about the Underdark though. I
yeah.
missed.
So the Underdark in D&D, the Underdark is its own whole area. It's essentially super super deep, like a second world underground. Obviously, the Earth doesn't have
Ah.
this. If you choose this as your favorite area, it would be places like going into sewers in towns or caves, underground areas where things hide. So if you do choose that, that's what would translate to for the real world. The rest of them would be pretty easy to translate into real world.
I think I picked a forest gnome, so maybe I should just go forest.
There you
That
go.
would make sense.
I mean, it would. And then your language proficiencies, you can kind of choose whatever for this. Common, everyone knows. You don't have to worry about common. Um, Sylvan might be a good one to have just because two of your party members can
So
also speak Sylvan.
this doesn't affect like the ones that I already know. So like no matter what I pick here, I already know common and I already know gnomish because I'm a gnome.
Yes.
Okay. And then obviously the other one for beasts.
Yeah. Whichever one you whichever one you chose for that.
I think I picked Abyssal for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
So I would suggest Sylvan because two of your party members know Sylvan. Probably
Okay.
all three of your other party members because one of them is married to a Sylvan, so it makes sense that they probably know it too. That way, if you guys ever are around anybody that doesn't speak Sylvan, you guys might be able to have your own little conversations. Obviously, you don't actually
Oh
have
yeah.
to speak in another language. We'll just say that you are. For your other ones, it kind of depends on what you are thinking for a backstory. If you think that you hung out with a lot of dwarves, maybe you know Dwarvish. If you think you hung out with a lot of um, people from the Undercommon, which is like the people who are in the sewers and stuff like that, you can pick that. If you think you hung out with a lot of kobolds, maybe you pick Draconic. Um, Kind of whatever you want for that. That's all role play for the rest of that part. Um, Equipment, if it gives you the option to, it will. Okay, it'll do that later.
I still have a there's under those two languages there's a third box that has another like stat thing.
What does it
Like I got
say?
perception, insight, and stealth. I can pick from perception, insight, and stealth.
Um, okay. Um, what is it? What is it? Is that in the favored foe?
It no, it's under language proficiencies. There's the two language boxes, and then there's a third box. But it doesn't seem to be related to language, to be honest with you. I don't know
Oh,
why it's
let me read.
under this.
Canny at first level. Choose one of your skill proficiencies. Your proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability check that you make with that chosen skill. So
Okay.
essentially, if you get a +3, you'll now have a +6 for whichever one of these skills you pick. When it comes
Okay.
to combat, I would choose stealth. If you're trying to do
Where did you see that? 'Cause I didn't
just
see
slightly
it. Oh,
above it,
okay, I
where it
see it
says the
now.
Def
Okay.
Explorer.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just blind. Unfortunate. Truly tragic.
It happens to us all, man. I didn't see it either. I'm not filling it out. I'm just going along beside you in another character sheet, so mine doesn't even give me any options there. So I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Because I don't have any skills chosen, so it doesn't give me any skills inside my drop down. So I was like, I don't know what he's talking about. So
I'm all set up there.
next is abilities then. So abilities, you are going to choose point by.
Point by 27 points available.
Yes. So the higher your points are, the better your rolls are, or the worse your rolls are. For you, you're a ranger, so let me look up. There's always at least one stat that you want to put decent into. Otherwise, you're just not going to have a good time.
I'm assuming that would probably be dexterity for rangers.
I want to say that is correct, but let me double check.
Like, I feel like it's gotta be.
Yeah, dexterity.
Constitution is like your health. And
That
shit,
is your yeah. Dexterity does two things. It helps you with landing attacks, especially stealth and stuff like that. But it also helps improve your armor class, which is what people have to roll in order to hit you. So if you have a armor class of 12, then whenever people roll an attack, they have to get a 12 or higher in order to hit you. If you have an armor class of 20, they have to roll a 20. This includes their bonuses, like their +5 to whatever.
Oh.
So the higher your dexterity, the better your armor class can be as well.
Okay.
Dexterity, Constitution, and Wisdom are your primary stats in that order for a ranger. Constitution is, yeah, it helps with how much health you have, different stuff like that as well.
I have a +1 in dexterity for being a forest gnome.
Yes. You also get a intelligence boost, I believe, for being
+2 for being a gnome. Hell
Yep.
yeah.
Which isn't super useful for you, but you know, whatever. My suggestion would be to go through and do a roundabout 16 or 17 for dexterity.
Max is 15.
Yeah, well, yeah. So do 15. You'll get that +1 from the gnome stuff. All that
that
applies
16.
after this.
Okay.
All these bots. I've gotten
So
two.
I don't really
I've
care
gotten 2
about
bots and
strength.
right, but you don't want to put it super low either, because if you were to put it like all the way at 8, and you have to do a strength saving throw or a strength check to open a door or something like that, you'll roll with a negative. So you'll have like a -1.
Oh.
So that you, like if you had to open a door, you roll a d20, you roll a 10, but you have a -1, you actually rolled a 9. Looking at for a new person, beginner as a ranger, 16 for dexterity,
my modifier.
which would be putting it at 15. Constitution, 14. Wisdom, somewhere in the 12 to 14. Strength, intelligence, and charisma are usually your dump stats. Keep them at 10 through 12. That's not anything super min-maxed. That's just basic for what your character has and does. It'll
So
tell you that you might have a
dexterity
couple
is
points
maxed,
left.
Constitution
Yeah.
is like maxed, and then charisma is like mid.
Yeah,
Wisdom's
so
mid.
Constitution, keep it at about a 14. Wisdom, you want to keep at 12 to 14. And then Strength, Intelligence, and Charisma, try to keep them around 10. Now, the other thing you could do is, if you wanted to, you could put 1 or 2 of them lower if your intent is to be like, my character is super weak for like the roleplay aspect of it, and then, yeah, you're not the one that wants to do strength checks. It can be funny too. Um, they got a lot of charm people spells. They're playing with their spells. Um, but yeah, whenever you're done with the with that, if you go up to the top, it'll say points available. You want to get it to where it says 0. So kind of put
Yep.
everything else to where it's at 10. If you move it up to 11 or 12 or whatever, then you should be good. Background.
Yeah, I got strength at 10, dexterity's max, constitution's 14, intelligence is 10, wisdom is 12, charisma is 11.
Cool. That should work out just fine for you. So on to background then. For background, honestly, I wouldn't worry too much about most of these. Some of them will give you skill proficiencies. So then you'd have to go back and change some of your skill proficiencies. Like spy gives you deception and stealth. So then you'd obviously want to go back and change your stealth so you're not overdoing your stealth.
Yeah.
I would probably do. I would honestly put custom, and then you could just name it whatever. No, never mind. Don't do that. That's way more confusing than I thought it was. I would probably either do spy or soldier, unless you think your character might be from a, I don't know, rich family or something. Then you could go noble or guild merchant, criminals. If you think your guy was a criminal before,
Hermit.
hermit, all kinds of different things like that. The backstory of it, I wouldn't worry too much about. Noble, if you think your character was rich, might be fun. That'll give you persuasion and history.
Okay.
And we'll figure out a backstory to your character.
That gives me medicine and religion. That's weird. Okay.
For which one?
Hermit. That's less of what I thought it was.
Oh, huh.
That's not really what I thought it was.
That's funny. These two are going nutso.
It's like religious monastery. Doesn't sound like a hermit to me.
Might be looking
I just
more
like
for.
clicking buttons, okay? Like,
Hey, that's okay. Click your buttons. Click them.
if I just be distracted there, I won't distract you guys. Down here.
Fair enough. Let's see.
Sage does not. I don't know. Okay.
I'm also trying to look up something else real quick while you finish that up, while people are playing with their stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go with a guild artisan.
I found a couple temporary pictures potentially for you, or I'm looking at temporary pictures.
Oh, I found a temporary picture. Don't you worry. You'll see.
I'll have you DM me the picture instead of putting it inside that that group, the server that we're in, just in case it's an AI image.
Okay.
Because they don't like AI images in there. Let's see.
It's from. Do you know the? Have you ever watched Gravity Falls? That one freaky ass gnome.
I have not.
Seems like he's drunk. All right. Well, if anyone has,
Yes.
they know what I'm talking
Yes. Yes.
Well, she knows what you're talking about.
I love that
yeah.
gnome.
Yeah, whenever you
Yeah, that's the
have a
one.
second, send me the image so I can put it in our overlay.
Okay. Does tool proficiency matter here? I'm assuming it does.
Yes. What are your options?
Shit ton, man. There's so many.
Well,
Alchemy, brewer,
it
calligrapher,
it
carpenter,
can matter.
cartographer,
Um,
cobbler, cook, glassblower, jeweler, leatherworker, mason,
I would say if
painter,
you have
smith.
thief tools in there, to go with
No.
that. No, um,
I have tinker's tools,
that could
weaver's
be
tools,
that.
woodcarver's tools.
Tinker's tools might be helpful. That's essentially like having a screwdriver and hammer and shit like that. So
Oh,
when
yeah, that's huge.
when we have different things that need to be done, um, tools help you do them better. So if like
There's another fucking
you guys
language,
are
man.
entering a building and you need to get through a security lock or something that's electronic,
I could
maybe your
just
tinker tools.
disassemble the fucking lock.
You could potentially do that.
Take the hinges off the fucking door.
That's right. You never know.
Yeah, I have to pick another fucking language.
Yeah, you get a lot of languages over time.
Apparently, man. Wow. All right. Well, I got the one that everyone speaks.
Sylvan,
Uh,
nice.
yeah. I also got primordial already, so let me figure out something else. I
If
picked
you have
that one just
if you
'cause
have
I
a
thought it
couple
was
languages
funny.
that go over, I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Let's go. Dwarvish. Sure. I feel like I picked the wrong thing, man. I'm getting a lot of extra stuff now. I gotta pick a guild business and stuff, man.
Ducky says listening to us talk about this is giving him his D&D fix. That's nice. Ducky is one of the Twitch mods. They're also staff member in the Discord server, and potentially joining the Monday game. So that's always fun too.
Huge, huge.
Oh yeah. Oh man, the Monday game is gonna be fantastic. It's got Joker in it, and Midas is gonna be in it. I got a bunch of
Oh,
people
yeah.
from our server in there. It's gonna be fun. And Unicorn knows it's gonna be fun because it's a restart of Telfa. Because I wasn't able to finish the one that she was playing.
Yeah, I still want to play Cinder.
Hey, you know what? Maybe one day.
One day.
If it wasn't the rare one that I'm doing at night when you're probably working, I would say we could figure
Yeah, or
some
sleeping.
way out that Cinder shows up there, that we can make it make sense. And you could come play for a little bit, but yeah, Monday nights, 8:30 to 11:30, you're probably working.
8:30 to 11:30. I'm sleeping and working through half of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Ah,
exactly.
awesome.
Awesome. Oh, you haven't been paying attention to me in the chat, but like I said, Biscuit knows Draconic because she used to talk to the Gators down in the south.
I could absolutely see that being a thing.
Could absolutely see that being a thing too.
Hey.
Yeah, I just thought
We
I'd
should
pop
not
in.
pick Draconic. That way we have more people that know more languages. Huge.
Nice.
Oh,
I realized I didn't actually add any of the extra languages. I just kind of like went through because I didn't know what to pick for that or like any of the armor or the like weapons. So I figured I'll figure that out after.
I have a
Mondays roll
feeling
out.
your character would definitely be one of those ones that had a chance to learn a couple more languages, but just didn't.
Probably, yeah.
Be like,
Well,
well,
so like she has an intelligence of 0, so
let's see. I need to change the name for. And the other person who just joined into the voice chat, that is, I always call him Possum. Do you want to go by your character name, Zeftry, while we're in stream?
yeah, I'll go by that.
Yeah, right. I am saying that right? Zeftry?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, the only languages Zeftry knows is Common and Goblin.
I'm surprised you don't know Sylvan since you live with a bunch of changelings.
would you like to choose your equipment?
You are going to go with starting equipment.
So class equipment.
Yes. And then I'll give you some different options for some of the stuff. Things like I can't remember. Scale mail is medium armor, right?
I feel like that's just got to be better.
Well, the thing is certain things, certain armors, if you're wearing, like scale mail, if you're wanting to be sneaky and hide around a bunch, scale mail imposes disadvantage on stealth
Oh,
checks.
it's loud.
Yep. Whereas leather, you get less AC, but you can hide better.
Well, you could get more depending on your decks.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Your dex, you can still get more. And your dex is pretty much maxed out, so leather might actually be a good option for you.
I forgot, what level are our characters going to be?
Starting at level 1.
0.
Level 1. All right. And we're just using the point bar.
Yes, the 27 point buy.
Hmm.
Why did it make this image so? Oh, lordy.
Level 1, and I already get advantage with initiative.
Yeah.
Equipment from background. Oh, what the fuck?
Oh,
Why is it doing this?
Biscuit already knows this, but to you guys,
I have a spell.
Zephyr is a gunslinging goblin.
Now, gunslinger is the actual
Oh,
class,
you're
right?
the one. I see.
Gunslinger is an actual class in a book on D&D Beyond, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, originally
I
it
don't need
was a subclass for the fighter, but then they just decided to develop it into its own class.
I don't need to do anything in my spells, right?
Um,
Because I don't really have it. I have forest gnome cantrips, which is an illusion.
yeah, the cantrips
I
you'll
don't
always
think I have
have.
to
You don't have to
pick
worry about
anything.
that. If it's not giving you an option to do anything in spells, then yeah, you just skip on to the next thing.
Huge.
You will eventually get a couple spells.
Feats.
Um,
I haven't done anything yet.
yeah, you won't get
No
feats yet. Bio, the only thing I would do is I would change your character name to whatever name you want it to be. Um, the age, the rest of it, don't worry about because that's just the roleplay aspect of it. I'm not going to look at your sheet and be like, oh, you said you're 5'3", so now I got to tell you you're not a gnome.
Why are
Also,
they like
just,
limited to 5'2" or some shit, man?
I mean, they probably are, but I'm not going to look at your character sheet and be like, you don't have it at the limit. I know you're short. um, and if you can, go ahead and send me that that image real
Clef
quick.
with Rungle's long.
I
Hell yeah. I'll
would
track the
probably
images.
just put their first name in. For well, no, you can put your full name in for that part.
I thought it told me that gnomes have 3 names, so I had to go for 3 names.
Oh, you don't have to worry about following that. You can have modern names in this for all I care.
It's already done. It's already done.
Yeah,
I did it.
Yeah, so like Zephyr is just the short version of his name. It's a very long name.
Alright, and then I'll send you that picture real quick.
Oh yeah, you do still have Zephyr's character sheet on that game, right?
yes. Yeah, that game still has his sheet and his token on it.
Okay.
All right, my Discord has to update 18 times. So give me a minute.
All good. Um, yeah, whenever you have a chance, send me. What is inside the roll 20? Can you type out the? Actually, I can just look at it on the dang thing. Um, can you type out the name of your character?
Yeah. Whoa. What am I? Oh, what the hell? Every time I click on something, something horrible happens.
Welcome to D&D.
Where everything is against you, including
Motherfucking
yourself.
apparently.
I was I was just telling Unicorn about it. Um, I'm starting another run of the Telfa game that you two were in Monday nights, and Joker's going to be part of that too. He's been wanting to get in on Telfa for at least a year. I've been talking about running Telfa again, and eventually, I hope one day to continue your guys' run of Telfa in some way, shape, or form. Because man, that was fucking fun.
I did enjoy being my Tabaxi Blade Singer.
I had such a cool backstory for Cinder.
Oh yes, your backstory was great. It was amazing. Um,
Yeah.
it is one
Yeah, I
that
was definitely enjoying dumping spells into your limbs.
it is one that when I get back to writing the book, I may see if you don't mind me using that as a character's backstory for a character that pops up for a little bit because it's good.
Yeah, go for it. I'm gonna let you know it is actually stolen from another book.
Hey, it works.
Ironically, that character's name was also Cinder. I think the first book is called Cinder.
Oh, okay, okay. Um,
That
and
sounds vaguely familiar.
yes,
It's like the Lunar Chronicles or something. It was really good. It was like they took like Cinderella and Red Riding Hood and kind of like did the story as if it was like in the like kind of like future-esque thing. It was pretty
it
cool.
is
It's how
called the
I
Lunar
also got the
Chronicles.
yeah, it's how I got the idea for her limbs
There
too.
are 6 books.
Very good. I recommend it.
Um, speaking of books,
I'd have to see if they're
because
on
because of the Veiled
a
World,
Audible.
I got Joker into the Dresden Files. I don't know if any of you guys have read those before. Um, some of the modern world twist parts I get from Dresden Files, like how modern technology doesn't work around magic people. Um, he's finished the second out of 18 books that are out right now. It is a fantastic book series, and it's a really good listen on Audible too. If you ever watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, James Marsters, or however you say his name, he was one of the characters in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He's the guy who reads audibles, and he does fantastic because it's all a first person book. So he's reading it as the main character, and he does just great with it. And that's what drove me to go. I also want to do something modern because I wasn't into modern fantasy before reading those. All of you guys get some long ass fucking names. Clef Grungle's log as most Amosthenes Revelthorn Maryhorn. God damn.
That sounds like a
I
name
did
Biscuit
send
would
you.
make up for shits and giggles.
Yeah, that's absolutely something she would do.
I did
Like she's
send
like,
you that
I'm just
image.
gonna
It
hit
sent as a link for some
random on
reason
like
though.
3 names, and that's gonna be me.
Oh, it's fine. I can open it.
Oh shit, those books were read by Spike?
Yep, they were read by Spike. That's right.
Damn.
And they're still making more. Um, the first couple, the first couple, the audiobooks are good and the books themselves are good, but they were like when he first started writing. He didn't write them; the author did. But as they go, they just keep getting better. Production value went up. All kinds of things. They're so good.
Look, if we're plugging like really good audiobooks, I just want to desperately beg you guys to listen to Dungeon Crawler Carl, please.
Oh
Please.
Yeah.
lordy, look at this
Jeff
insano
Hayes is
gnome.
So
the best narrator that I've ever
Hell
heard
yeah, bro.
for anything ever.
yeah,
Love your gnome
I
right there.
listened to two audiobooks, and it's Dungeon Crawler Carl and He Who Fights with Monsters.
I was so excited when I had um I had the first three Dragonlance books on audio, and I was like, hell yeah! I was like, these are a staple of fantasy. The guy who reads them in audiobook thing is so terrible. I was like, I listened to him and I got used to it in time, but man, at first it was so bad. It was just
Like bad as in monotone or bad as
m-
in just
monotone. Um, he would like space off at the most random parts in the middle of a sentence. Um, it was just, it was bad. Like if he was reading the sentence that was like, um, the character bent down to grab something, be like, the character bent down to grab something. I'm like, why are you saying it like that? Stop. It
I
was all.
I
listen
wouldn't be able to do
2x
it.
speed, so
It was almost like it was almost like he would pause whenever he was going to the next line, reading it from a book or flipping the page.
I wouldn't be able to do it. I would get too annoyed.
I By the end of the third book, I got really annoyed with it. Especially since those books are long. They're like 23-hour audiobooks each, or like 30 something hour audiobooks each. Oh, it was bad. It was so bad. All right, so I have almost all the characters filled out on the thing. I need to grab one more image. Eventually, I will make a character token for you with that image as well. Um, I have to wait until I can do a non-background thing, so it'll probably be a minute. But I'm going to give you a random token to control for the moment, so I can teach you a little bit about Roll20 before we hop off for the day.
Okay.
Let's grab. Trying to grab an image for the last thing. If it'll let me.
I can roll a fudge. What the fuck? What does that mean?
So when you roll a fudge, it means that you quote unquote roll, but you already know the outcome. It's faking a roll.
Oh. I see.
It is a thing that DMs will use at times to be like, if they're trying to make a certain thing happen or not have a certain thing happen, they'll fudge their own rolls. I try not to do that because that kind of takes away the fun, I think. I feel like if it gets to a situation where I'm like, I want this roll to happen and I will fudge it, then I'll just, in a sense, make a cut scene and have something happen instead of making it seem like it's a roll. That seems way less cheaty to me on it. Let me change this last image real quick so I have
So like
everything.
fudge just means you automatically fail.
Well, a fudge. So like, let's say that
It's
let's
just
say
a
that
saying, like, oh
I
yeah, we
had
know this guy's gonna lose.
yeah. So like, let's say that you did a spell, and I needed to do a wisdom saving throw, and I needed to roll a 15 in order to pass, and I was like, okay, I know I want this character to pass. I would do a fudge roll, and it would look like I roll, but it would have the predetermined answer I want. So I'd give it like a predetermined answer of 12. And I'd be like, oh, or not 12, a predetermined answer of like 17, because then I know that passes. So on the log to you guys, it'll look like I rolled it, but I know exactly what it was the whole time.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. A lot of the people will use it to stop something bad from happening over something good from happening. So like if it was all of you guys have 1 hit point left, if you guys don't hit this attack, the game's pretty much over. Some people will be like, okay, well I'm gonna fudge the roll and da 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 da. Yeah, so you pass, or oh, if I land this hit, the last character of you guys dies, and then the game's over. So then they'll fudge it to be like, oh, it missed.
Fair. I see. Okay.
Trying to get this dang. This'll work. This is being annoying while I'm trying to get my last. There it goes. There we go. Boom. Okay.
Damn.
So, let me. So if you have
I
your
rolled a 1 on a fucking 100.
nice. So if you open up your character sheet, um,
Yeah.
there are 2 things. Up at the very top on the left-hand side, where it has a little button that has 2 squares. If you have a second monitor, or even if you don't, if you click that, it'll bring that out as a new tab, so that you can just minimize it instead of having to move it out of the way.
Oh.
And if you have a second monitor, you can throw it onto your second monitor. When you are...
I am heavily encumbered.
How the heck are you heavily encumbered?
Apparently, all the shit that I picked gave me a lot of equipment.
Interesting. Me. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
I'm like 104 pounds carried right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. So when you're looking at your character sheet, if you do that, it'll pop up to a different window. In order to do your rolls, so that it has all your proficiency and stuff like that, you see there's check marks on the side. Those are the proficiencies and the skills we picked. Don't change those whenever we level up and stuff. They will change for you. If you click on at the top on the right side where it says core bio spells, and then it has a little like settings icon. If you click on that settings icon, don't click it yet.
Hold on.
Nope.
Hold on. What? Okay, where am I looking, first of all?
On the right side, near the top,
Okay.
there's 4 purple buttons. Core bio spells. It should be right underneath your name.
Okay, it's not on the character sheet, right?
It is on the character sheet.
What?
Underneath, if you look at my stream real quick, I don't know if you have the stream open.
I do not.
Alright, so you see where it says Ranger level 1, Forest Gnome, Chaotic Neutral, to the right of your name?
Yeah, Ranger level 1. I don't see... All this shit is white.
Is
I
white.
don't see shit.
Which...
Yeah, it's white text on a white background.
Oh. That'll do it.
What the fuck? Who thought that was a good idea?
I don't know how you change that. Might be in your settings somewhere. If you go over
All the
to...
settings are white.
Yeah, if you go over to your settings at the top right of Roll20, I think if you go down far enough, you can,
That's fucked up, man.
you go to, I want to say it's
Okay.
graphics, no. Personalization, display. Nope. One of those has it where you can change it like dark mode or some shit. It's an actual Roll20 and not the character sheet for that.
I'm in dark mode now.
Okay, so you should be able to see your
That was
character
fucked
sheet
up.
now. Yeah, so now you should see where it says core bio spells, and it has a little cog.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you click on that cog that's next to spells, it'll take you to a bunch of words. That looks very confusing. Don't worry about changing any of that. But down at the very bottom, don't click it. But down at the very bottom on the right, you'll see where it says Launch Level Plus Charactermancer. And that's like a little anvil picture. There's 2.
Yes.
There's one that says Launch Level 1, and then there's one that says Launch Level Plus. Whenever we level up,
Yes.
you'll do the Launch Level Plus. If you do the Launch Level 1, it restarts your character. So don't do that. And don't click it now because then you can't. Sometimes you can't exit it. But that's how you'll level up your character. But if you go back to core, you'll see all the little check marks on the side. That's all your proficiencies. If I was to say do a history check, you see where it has all your skills and you can like see them listed. If you click on the word for
The left side?
yes, it's like in the left, slightly in the middle.
Saving
Underneath,
skills. Okay.
yeah, underneath saving throws. So if I was to say do a history check, you would hover your mouse over the word history and click it, and it'll roll, and it'll take into account everything you need for the roll.
Okay.
Same for the saving throws.
1d10.
Yep, it'll add it all in there. And then if I have you do a strength saving throw, you would click it from the saving throw section. If I just have you do a strength check, you do it from all the way on the left. Because a check and a saving throw have 2 different variables to them.
Okay, so the check is like you roll from your actual stat table?
Yes. And then the saving throw is doing a saving throw itself.
Okay.
And then in the middle,
I see.
you'll see your hit points, your armor class. Your armor class is 14. So that means in order for somebody to hit you, they have to roll a 14 or higher. Don't worry, that'll go up in time. Speed 25. That's how many feet you can move per turn.
So boxes, basically?
Yes. How many boxes? Each box is 5 feet.
Oh, okay.
Most of the time, that is the case. Your hit points are there. Once you have a token, you'll also be able to control your hit points a different way. we'll work on that when we have time. Um, your hit die is for a short rest. That's how many dice you can roll to heal up. Death saves. We'll talk about death saves when we get to them. But then you'll see right there in the middle attacks and spell casting. If you click on dagger, hand axe, or longbow, you'll roll your attack. Um, it should ask, oh, do you want to do advantage or not advantage? Um, it should do that. If not, then advantage would just be rolling twice. Disadvantage would be rolling twice but taking the lower. Advantage is taking the higher. Um,
Okay.
when you click it, like if you click longbow, we'll just say normal roll. Um, it'll then roll a number on the side there. In order to roll the damage, you'll look inside the chat, and where it says, like for mine, I rolled the 8. You click on longbow again, and it rolls the piercing damage. You don't click the 1d8 plus 3. You click the actual word longbow. Yep. And now you can click the 1d8 plus 3 piercing, and that'll roll the damage.
Okay, so I have to. No, I do not want advantage. Okay. Go back to the character sheet, and then now I do piercing. Okay, so. Oh, okay, so I did 15 damage with that basically. If it was an attack. Roughly, or no, because I have to roll above their armor value too, right? Oh, fuck it. We'll figure it out.
Oh heck, my microphone was muted apparently. Yeah,
Yeah.
my bad. Yeah, so the first roll, that 11, is what you're rolling to see if you hit the opponent.
Oh,
The second roll, the damage, is what damage you do if you hit them. So like I did
Okay.
an attack with advantage. You see it has the 13 and the 8. If that 13 hits, then right below it says dagger in the purple. I can push that and it'll roll the damage. You don't have to do it from your sheet.
okay.
And with disadvantage, if I was to roll it, then whatever the lowest number is what I have to use. And if it doesn't hit, then it doesn't hit. Same for all your other checks. Whenever you do a check, we do what's called meets it, beats it. So if you were to roll a 11 for your attack and their AC is 11, then you hit.
Okay.
If you're doing a spell save, you have to hit their spell saving DC is 12. If you roll a 12, you save. As long as you get what the number is, you're good to go. Every character on a turn has a couple different things they can do. Let me give you a token that you can play around with for a second. I will change your token to a better one when I can. For now, I'm just going to make it your image. Boom. It's going to look a little silly, but it's okay.
No, that looks perfect. Wonderful.
Nameplate.
Yeah, I guess if we're going by the fucking Gravity Fall gnome style, he is like quite literally a foot tall.
Alright, so
Them fuckers are small.
you should now have control over this token. If you click on it, you'll see a couple different things. You'll see it has a 12 and a 14. The 12 is your health. In order to lose health, if you click inside the circle, and then, like, let's say that somebody did 2 damage to you. click inside the circle, and just type -2 and enter, and it'll take you down by 2 health. You don't even have to do the math for it. The 14 is your AC.
Ouch.
Yep, the 14 is your AC. You will never have to change that. It'll go off what your AC is inside your sheet automatically. So if your AC ever goes up, that'll go up.
Okay.
That's just a good way to quick reference what your AC is. To regain health, you can just do +2, and it'll take you right back up. When you're controlling your character, if you start dragging with your left mouse button, and then while you're dragging, just click the right button, you'll get these little points where he turns, and then when you let go, everyone else will see them move in those points. And then all the way on your bar on the side to the right, you'll see you'll have like select and some different things. There's one called measure. Click the measure, and then
Wait. Where?
all the way on the left side of the screen.
Oh, okay. There it is.
If you click measure, it'll pop up with like a little measure table and stuff. If you click always measure token movement, then every time you start moving while you're dragging, you'll see exactly how many feet it is.
Oh, okay.
And then when you let go, we'll see you move. That way, if you need to try to figure out, like, oh, you're going around this corner over here, but you don't know if you have enough feet or not, then you could do that, and then you'll know. And then if you right-click, it anchors it, and then you have different points that you're going around. That's how you move. One action you can take every turn is movement. That's a free thing you can do. You can move up to 25 feet. Eventually, if you are in combat, like let's say that you and Biscuit were fighting, and Biscuit was right here, you're right there. If you don't use an action to disengage, and you move 5 feet away, she can attack you while you're moving. Because it's kind of like attacking you while you're retreating. It's called an attack of opportunity. You can do that to enemies. Enemies can do that to you with melee weapons. You can use an action to disengage, which means that they can't do it. So it's kind of like you purposely retreating. Certain classes and races also have that as bonus actions and whatnot. So you can always...
That turning thing?
What?
The turning around corners thing?
Oh, while you're dragging your token, right click.
Okay, so I need my mouse then.
Yes.
All sorts of shit I'm finding out today.
All good, all good. That's part of the process. Another action that you get every turn is called your action. And that can be a wide variety of things. That can be you doing your attack. That can be you interacting with certain things or whatever. Most times it's usually attacking. There's also different actions called a dash action. It uses your action and you get to move even more. So like if your movement is 25, you take the dash action, you can now move 50 for that turn, but you don't get an action. You also have things called bonus actions, and they are smaller things, such as, in my games, drinking a potion, or giving a potion to another person. Certain cantrips or spells are bonus actions. Eventually, you're going to get a spell called Hunter's Mark. That's a bonus action. I'll see if I can find it again. I have a sheet that gives you a list of like what all the different actions you can do are. Because like there's ones like action dodge, so that your AC is up higher for the next turn. You're essentially playing defense. There's all kinds of different things. And then there's also something called free actions. Free actions are things that are kind of like done on the fly. Like if it was you walk up in the middle of combat and somebody dropped a cell phone on the floor. and you wanted to pick up that cell phone for later, I would say that that's a free action that you picked it up. It doesn't count as one of your actual actions.
Gotcha.
Um,
Yeah.
and then once you also have what's called a reaction, which usually happens not on your turn. If you like, let's say you and Biscuit were fighting, and Biscuit moved away, so you wanted to do an attack of opportunity, you could do that once per turn. That is a reaction. You can use one reaction per turn.
Yeah, and that's just because someone else did something.
Yeah, essentially it's because something else happened that would trigger that reaction. Certain spells can also be reactions, like the spell Shield. If somebody attacks you and they would hit your AC, there's a spell that you can have called Shield, and it raises your AC. And you can use it as a reaction to somebody hitting you to pretty much tell them, no, never mind, you don't hit me. Different things like that. There's all kinds of things out there.
Gotcha.
You'll learn that the easiest way to learn D&D 5e is by playing it.
Yeah, fair
Counterspell is
enough.
another one. It is by far the
I
easiest
feel like
way
I've
to
seen
do
a
it.
video on that.
Oh yeah. I'll
I'm
see
pretty
if I
sure
can-
it was a joke video, but I'm pretty sure I've seen something like.
Oh yeah. Um, yeah. So one of let's see. I will probably, depending on what kind of free time you have, I'll probably get with you later to do your backstory for your character. Unless you have any ideas you want to talk about for a backstory for your character now. Like, are you wanting them to be old or young? Um, do you have an idea of maybe what area of the world they're from?
Not 100%. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I think I picked like 37 for an age just arbitrarily. I know gnomes live like fucking
They can live,
500 years or
yeah, they
whatever,
can live a
so
couple hundred years.
it doesn't make a huge difference. Um, and I think it asked me somewhere in the character sheet to pick where you're from, and I think I picked like a mountain or something.
So you think you're probably from a more, you're not from like a big city somewhere in the world. You're somewhere that's
Or
outside of the city, which is totally fine. You can
yeah,
definitely
I
be
think
from
I
there.
picked forest actually because I was a forest gnome.
Oh no, that was picking your favored terrain. So like what kind of terrain you're the best in.
Oh,
That doesn't
I
necessarily
see.
mean where you live. It can if you
Okay.
want to, but it doesn't have to.
I
So
don't
like
really know. I'm gonna be honest.
so like if I can't remember exactly where
I'd
Biscuit
still
and
like to make
Zelfrey
him like
are from,
damn
but
near insane.
I know that Zeftry and Biscuit are from a big city. I don't remember which one it is. Do you guys remember which big city you're from?
I think Biscuit originally lived somewhere like in Louisiana, and then didn't they move like to like New York or
It might have been New.
Boston?
It might have been New
Oh,
York.
you know what? I got it. I got it. He's gonna be a gnome from fucking Appalachia.
There you go.
Even
That's
better.
awesome. Fuck yeah.
That works perfectly.
Yeah, that'll fit with like the odd being.
There you go. That works perfectly. Why does this tip thing keep going off every 5 seconds? I need to change that. Makes it look like I'm trying to tell people they need to tip us.
I mean, I picked America because like the Southern Belle accent, and then like it just kind of. I mean, there isn't really anywhere else that has that accent.
I will let you guys know the first area you will be going to um, is going to be in the Tennessee area.
Hmm.
It is close to where I live in real
Hell
life,
yeah.
but it won't be exactly where I live in real life. Um, you guys are all brand new Veil Keepers. Um, so pretty much you guys just finished doing all of the training of, hey, this is how we handle these situations. You guys still don't know how to do all of it yourself. You will have a supervisor that is over you, essentially your mission giver. But the start of the campaign is going to be your first incident that you guys are covering. Um, let me see if I can pull up the information for that real quick, just so you have an idea of um, of what it's gonna be.
Honestly, I feel like I should change some stuff in my fucking character now. I'm gonna go with that background. It'd be funny
you
because I picked like guild artisan or something.
I
That
mean
that I could get like a brewer set. 'Cause that
well,
would fit.
that'd be pretty funny. Yeah, we can definitely, and certain things like that, I can also just give you to, where you don't have to change your character thing. Some of them is
Oh,
it's
gotcha.
not that big of a deal. That's just kind of like a lot of the stuff on the background, like saying that you're a guild artisan, for example. That's just the preload of it. We can change it story wise to be whatever, and just keep the benefits of it. If
Oh,
that
okay.
makes sense.
I gotcha.
That's why like certain things like the background, like if you were to go with a, let's say, a noble background, it could just be that you're rich. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're a noble, and different things like that. Um, but now that we're getting close to the end of what is going to be our session 0, a little shorter today than what an actual session would be, because we're just getting our setups. Here's a little briefing on what your first mission as official Veil Keepers is going to be. This mission arc is going to be known as the Lost Rock Investigation. Your first assignment as newly appointed Veil Keepers brings you to Knoxville, Tennessee, where local authorities are responding to a horrific incident at a mundane world facility known as Lost Rock. It is known actually as the Lost Rock Home for Children. Late last night, emergency services were called after reports of screaming and violent disturbances within the building happened. When police arrived, they discovered a gruesome scene. Nearly all the staff members had been severely injured or killed. Um, let's see. The official cause of death remains unclear, according to the Mundane, but reports describe victims as having been ripped apart with no obvious weapons or suspect.
Damn.
In the weeks leading up to the incident, well, we'll talk about that part later. That's part of the actual thing that you guys will learn next week for that. But your task is pretty much to figure out the Veil Keepers believe that something magical or supernatural has gone on here, and your task is going to be figure out what the heck it was, who it was, and contain or destroy or whatever is needed. So you guys are going to a orphanage that's in Knoxville, Tennessee, obviously made up, and figuring out what the fuck happened. And no matter how old some of you guys are all brand new recruits to the Veil Keepers. You don't have to be young to be a new recruit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I will send it. I will send it as a message as well. It'll be like in your guys' notes, Joker. But I also will talk about it at the beginning of the session as well. That's just a little tease to what is coming. You guys will actually have to role play out figuring out all the stuff. So Biscuit, Zeftry, and Joker are all already pretty knowledgeable about how we do the role playing for the game and everything like that. They've all done it quite a few times. You will get used to it. It might feel a little weird to do at first because it'll be all over voice, but trust me, you get used to it super fast. Pretty much what you want to do, especially since we're streaming it to people, it does. It makes you feel like a huge fucking nerd, but that's okay because we are. Um, Especially since we're streaming it. Anytime that you move or you do an action, you want to describe what your character is doing instead of just going like, if I was to move your character and go, okay, I move 15 feet. You'd want to say, Cleft is going to move up here to this. You talk in third person?
Yeah, like if
Kinda
I'm gonna
thing.
climb the wall, I'm like, my little tiny legs are kicking around and just skittering up the wall like a
Right, exactly.
fucking animal.
And then whenever you want to or whenever you think it's good moments, talk in character. And this can be even you guys just standing like you guys are inside this cemetery, and I'm like, all right, you guys are in this cemetery. It looks like this or this or this. You guys can start talking amongst yourself and have a little role play moment where you guys talk for a little bit, maybe learn a little bit about each other, or that one of you really doesn't like cemeteries or something like that. And that might go on for, good 10, 15, whatever minutes. That's totally okay. That is what you're supposed to do. Especially for the Veiled World, combat does happen, but it is not as combat heavy as other games are, to where it's like you're looking for fighting all the time. A lot of your stuff is investigation, talking to people, figuring out what the hell happened, and figuring out a way to contain it. Sometimes that's fighting, sometimes it's not. But since you guys are trying to keep the secret world secret, running down the streets of Chicago or Knoxville, blowing things up because you're chasing a goblin is probably not the best way to do it. So it's a little bit more about being strategic than just guns blazing. Which is one reason why bows and arrows for you might be cool, because a little bit more stealthy than a gun going off in the middle of the city. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Um, so your character.
I don't know. Have you been to Chicago? It'd be weird to see a bow and arrow, but hearing a gun, nah, that's just a typical Tuesday night.
That is true. That is true.
Real.
Shout out to Chicago from Harry Dresden. Good old Chicago. And Joker is playing a warlock. So we got ourselves a warlock. We have ourselves a gunslinger, a ranger, and a bard. And we still have room for at least one more person to join. That can be anybody you guys know. If you find somebody you know that wants to play, send them our way. You can also, to anyone who ends up watching, maybe one of them will decide they want to join us after watching for a little while. You never know. Eventually, if you guys want to, if you have Twitch accounts, you can always be inside the live stream. I will have a second account that is doing the streaming, like a second Roll20. So you guys won't have to worry about seeing things you're not supposed to. The DM screen will not be visible to you. So you'll just see what all the characters can see.
Okay.
So you can't see it right now, but there is line of sight and ways to mask what you see. So if I had it set up right, and right here was a wall, you wouldn't see anything past the wall. Over here would be black until you walk around the corner, and then you could see. So there's line of sight. There's shadows. There's all kinds of stuff like that. It's called dynamic lighting. I don't have it set up for this map because I'd have to go through and do it. But if I was to do it, like let's say I did a dynamic light wall right here. Now, if I do that, when I look at it from your character point, well, maybe if I actually turn on dynamic lighting. At first, it's going to be a little bit darker. I'll turn on daylight mode.
Well, that was everything is dark.
Yeah, that's because you don't have dark vision yet. Should be.
I should for gnome.
There we go. Boom. Yeah. I just gotta set it up with the token. But now you can see.
Oh, that looks fucking weird.
Yeah.
What the hell?
So you can see it. There's a wall that I put right there. But if you move around the wall, you can see on the other side of it. Yeah, the rest of you guys will be blind for a minute. I gotta enable vision and all that fun stuff. Boom. That is vision. Yeah, you won't be able to see through walls, but there's like a window. You'll be able to see through a window. Stuff like that. I'm gonna turn that back off for a minute so that Joker can see because I don't have a token out for him yet. Also, if you want to choose a specific color, um, so right now when you're looking at your Roll20, do you see just names on the bottom, or is it names and pictures for like the
Names
people
and
playing?
pictures.
All right, so go into the very top right of Roll20, settings,
Yo.
audio and video, and then where it says chat tech, push none if it gives you that option.
Huh?
Hold on, let me do this.
Audio and video. That can't be right.
You don't have audio and video as a.
Well, no, I have audio and video, but it's just master music level.
Oh, okay. Hold on then. What about where it says
Oh,
video
okay.
display?
There it is.
Video
Yeah,
display, where it
Names
says
only.
player, yeah, names only. It'll probably reload your thing. It'll have just names on the bottom. Helps clear up a lot of space.
Damn, for real.
Where it has your name right there, if you click on the little colored square next to your name, you can change that color, and that's what
Oh,
color all your stuff shows up as. Your pings, all the different things like that. You can also put in a color code.
Don't tempt me. I'll find the most vile, disgusting color possible. I'll fucking do it.
I don't remember what my color code is for my stuff. I use the same color
Yeah,
code for
but
everything.
like vile and disgusting colors is like opinionated.
Fair enough.
Pantone 448C. Dark greenish brown sludge color is widely considered the worst color in the world.
That sounds
Hell yeah.
that sounds really similar to my color that I use for everything, so I take offense to that.
I don't see colors right, so a lot of colors don't look good anyway.
Fair enough.
Sludge.
There we go. My color, I always use it for everything.
Nah, that's like way lighter than the sludge color.
Oh no, everyone's doing green. I'll do that, or sometimes I'll stick to red since it's what the baddies would have. Also, if you,
I try to match my character.
yeah, that's always a fun one to do to match character. I don't have that luxury. I have too many characters.
Then you pick your favorite one of us.
No. Gotta pick
That's how
my.
it works.
If you gotta pick my favorite between all the kids.
Gotta pick your favorite child.
Oh my gosh, when I had all four of my kids at the house, I jokingly told my second youngest that he was my favorite child because he said he was guessing how old me and my fiance are. And he was like, what are you, Dad? I'm gonna guess that you're 23. I was like, okay, you're my favorite child now. And my oldest one was almost in tears because he was like, I'm not your favorite. I was like, no, I don't really have a favorite. It's a joke. It's a joke. I was making a joke because he said I'm way younger than I am. It's like, don't take it too seriously. Oh,
What are these tokens and shit?
what tokens?
So like if you click on your character and then on the bottom there's the settings wheel and then there's the other one.
So those are
Like
condition
it's got
things.
pictures and shit.
Those are conditions. The colored ones.
Grenade condition.
Yes. The colored ones I usually use for, like, let's say there's 3 or 4 kobolds out, and you want to be able to specify which one you're attacking. Is it the green one? Is it the orange one? Is it the blue one? Anything like that. And then
Okay.
some of the other things I just throw on there. They don't have any super specific meaning to them. But then another
I
one,
feel like grenade status has to have a fucking meaning, man.
but then the other
If
one
my
is like
status is
where it has
grenade, there's got
this.
to be a reason.
If I have the X on it, that means they're dead, or at least that you know that they're dead, um, or that you think that they're dead, or anything like that. Um, some certain ones, the grenade one, I think I usually use that as well, no, they didn't have that before when I was doing it. That's a new one. But like I did let's say this one right here, you're asleep. This one right
Okay.
here, you're stealthing around. You don't have to use those. Um, I usually use them more
I
so on
feel like that could
enemies.
be convenient.
I use a lot of them on enemies,
Yeah.
especially the colored ones. Because if you have 7 enemies out there and you're just like, I'm gonna attack the kobold, and you're like, okay, which one? Then
The one 15 feet to the right of the one on the left.
yeah, exactly. Granted, you can just ping by holding down the left mouse button, and it does a ping, and you can tell exactly which one it is. But if I'm not looking at that moment and I don't see it, because I have 800 sheets open, then it doesn't matter. And it gets really confusing and stuff. So I usually just go, all right, which color? And then I know which one you're attacking.
Okay. Oh yeah.
There we go. All right, so I think for today's session 0, we're just about done. We'll figure out some story stuff for you and some story stuff for Joker. Um, Whenever we have a chance to, we can talk inside that one Discord server,
Yeah.
and we can throw some ideas around. And I'll make you an actual token, and I'll put it on your sheet and all that fun stuff. Um, you can enter this game at any point in time, even if I'm not online. So if you want to go in here and learn some of the different controls for Roll20, you can. I don't have to be
Yeah.
online for you to
Yeah.
enter. I just ask not to change your character sheet unless I'm around, so I can help you out with it. But otherwise, you
Okay.
can kind of do whatever when it comes to that part. Um, let's see. I think, unless anybody else has any questions right now. Oh yeah, he found the effects. If anybody has any questions right now, feel free to ask them. If not, then you can always ask them later, and we can figure out some more stuff. I'll get the tokens fixed and all that fun stuff before you play. um, if you guys have any questions, you can just send it to me in Discord. Just make sure you tag me. It will not hurt my feelings if you tag me. I don't get notifications on my phone for it all day long, but it does let me know that you said something, so that I know.
Okay.
Um, and for anyone who is watching, if you want to, you can join our Discord by typing Discord in the chat, and you can join it. There's a different Discord that we do all of our D&D through. If you join my Discord and also want to do some D&D as well, I can get you a link for that from there. I don't have it set up here. Eventually, I'll have a YouTube channel, which will have all the old episodes, and this will be every Tuesday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, except for ones that we take breaks for. So come down and enjoy the show. And for everybody else, I'm going to hop out of the Discord call in just a second, but I will be around. Thanks for coming
Have a
down,
good
and
day.
I'll talk to you guys later. And for everyone watching the stream, thank you for watching the stream, and we will see you next week.